assertAlmostEqual in Python unit test for collections of floats. The assertAlmostEqual x, y method in Python's unit testing framework tests whether x and y are approximately equal assuming they are floats. The problem with assertAlmostEqual is that it only works on floats. I'm looking for a method like assertAlmostEqual, which works on lists of floats, sets of floats, dictionaries of floats, tuples of floats, lists of tuples of floats, sets of lists of floats, etc. For instance, let x equals 0.123 for 5678990, y equals 0.123 for 5678991. X and y are almost equal because they agree on each and every digit except for the last one. Therefore self.assertAlmostEqual x, y is true because assertAlmostEqual works for floats. I'm looking for a more generic assertAlmostEquals, which also evaluates the following calls to true. Self.assertAlmostEqual underscore generic x, 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 y, y, y dot. Self.assertAlmostEqual underscore generic 1 column x, 2 column x, 3 column x, 1 column y, 2 column y, 3 column y dot. Self.assertAlmostEqual underscore generic x, x, y, y dot. Is there such a method or do I have to implement it myself? Clarifications. assertAlmostEquals has an optional parameter named places, and the numbers are compared by computing the difference rounded to number of decimal places. By default places equals 7, hence self.assertAlmostEqual 0.5, 0.4 is false, while self.assertAlmostEqual 0.123 for 5678, 0.123 for 5679 is true. My speculative assertAlmostEqual underscore generic should have the same functionality. Two lists are considered almost equal if they have almost equal numbers in exactly the same order. Formally, for I in range n, column self.assertAlmostEqual list 1 I, list 2 I. Similarly, two sets are considered almost equal if they can be converted to almost equal lists by assigning an order to each set. Similarly, two dictionaries are considered almost equal if the key set of each dictionary is almost equal to the key set of the other dictionary, and for each such almost equal key pair there's a corresponding almost equal value. In general, I consider two collections almost equal if they are equal except for some corresponding floats which are just almost equal to each other. In other words, I would like to really compare objects, but with a low, customized precision when comparing floats along the way.
If you don't mind using number py, which comes with your Python x, y, you may want to look at the np.testing module, which defines, among others, the assert_almost_equal function. The signature is np.testing.assert_almost_equal, actual, desired, decimal equals 7, error_message equals, verbose equals true.
As of Python 3.5 you may compare using as described in PEP 0485. The implementation should be equivalent to
Here's how I've implemented a generic is_almost_equal, first, second, function. First, duplicate the objects you need to compare, first and second, but don't make an exact copy. Cut the insignificant decimal digits of any float you encounter inside the object. Now that you have copies of first and second for which the insignificant decimal digits are gone, just compare first and second using the equals operator. Let's assume we have a cut_insignificant_digits_recursively, obj, places, function which duplicates obj but leaves only the place's most significant decimal digits of each float in the original obj. Here's a working implementation of is_almost_equals, first, second, places. And here's a working implementation of cut_insignificant_digits_ recursively, obj, places. The code and its unit tests are available here, this URL. I welcome any improvement and bug fix.
If you don't mind using the number_py package, then number_py.testing has the assert_array_almost_equal method. This works for array_like objects, so it is fine for arrays, lists and tuples of floats, but does it not work for sets and dictionaries? The documentation is here.
There is no such method, you'd have to do it yourself. For lists and tuples the definition is obvious, but note that the other cases you mention aren't obvious, so it's no wonder such a function isn't provided. For instance, is 1.00001 column 1.00002 almost equal to 1.00002 column 1.00001? Handling such cases requires making a choice about whether closeness depends on keys or values or both. For sets you are unlikely to find a meaningful definition, since sets are unordered, so there is no notion of corresponding elements.